So I have my serious face on here. Well, maybe not so much. I want to talk to you about a serious topic, share some serious things with you. Yet we don't always have to be so serious, do we? And we can have fun. And what I want to talk about is the Iceberg Principal. And the Iceberg Principle, if you think about the Titanic, it was the iceberg that sunk it, and we're not going to have all the romance and things like that in this one. It's kind of serious because things that can sink you are pretty darn serious. I'm making a little light of it because one of the ways you can see the ice below the surface is if you just don't take things so darn seriously all the time. If you just take a step back, look at the big picture. And if you see the beginnings of the iceberg, that tip above the surface, that 10%, you may know there's a problem. And I say may because we don't know for sure, because we're looking for the pattern. And that's the part that could be serious. So the looking for it, you don't need to be serious. You need to go about your day. You need to be, if you're on a ship, for example, you consider your business a ship. Enjoy the sights, enjoy the business, but be watching for icebergs, because they can be serious, but you can enjoy everything as you go along. If you start to see the glimmer of the sunlight off the side of the iceberg, you know there's something to pay attention to. Well, what is the iceberg here? It's the beginnings of patterns of behavior. For example, if you have an executive who starts being late for meetings when they've always been on time, if you have somebody in accounting, maybe your controller or CFO, who suddenly their behavior or their demeanor changes and stays that way, maybe it's your VP or senior VP of sales, and the results out of that department start to show a pattern that's a little bit alarming. That's the iceberg. And the key is, if you start to see a little bit, there's probably more that you don't see. And that's when you need to look at it. Part of the key in this is looking at who you interface with. Do you have the trusted people? Do you have the support? This is why I'm often brought in. I'm that fresh set of eyes, seeing things that people can't see. So if you don't have that, you can call on people like me. If you do, that's where you raise the red flag. You bring everybody else up on deck and say, I think I see the beginnings of an iceberg. We need to steer around it. We need to plow through it. We need to do something different, or find out there's really no pattern here, it's just an anomaly. Either way, you're in the know. You're not going to be steering into something that's going to crash the ship, your company, in this case. That's worth always taking a look and watching for those icebergs.